Hey guys, it's carsonmtech here, back with another video, and today in this video I'm going to be unboxing, installing, and testing my brand new Boss BV9351B, mouthful to say, stereo system for my new Honda 2005 CR-V. Well, it's new to me because I got it for my birthday, so thanks to my parents for that. But anyways, I'm going to be installing this in my new car, and so I'm going to take you along on that journey and show you all there is to installing a car stereo. So anyways, let's get into the unboxing. Okay, so now to get into the box. So on the box, as you can see, it just shows all the things that it can do, such as MP3 input and output, audio streaming, USB in, USB charging, blah blah blah. Side of the box just shows a picture of it. Here it just shows all the features and stuff again. And on this side, it's the same as the other. So anyways, now let's get into unboxing it. Open it up. And find another box right here. Inside. That open. Well, this includes its remote that it comes with, some mounting hardware, and a pen for the screen that rolled off to the side. You don't need this, but it's kind of nice that they include this just in case some people might need it. Anyways, next, inside the box, open up these, find the stereo itself. Actually, first, here's the cables to have the inputs for the speakers and everything in your car, blah blah blah. And anyways, right here, find the stereo itself, which looks like this when it comes out of the box. It has a plastic covering over it, and it's got this on the screen. And yeah, there's that. And also, lastly in the box, the user's manual and probably how to install. But, you know, I'm not going to be using that because I don't want to. So anyways, that's about it for this unboxing. Very messy, but it'll do. So yeah, anyways, let's go and start to install this. So the tools that you'll need to install your stereo are a Phillips head screwdriver, a car stereo connector that's compatible with your vehicle, butt connectors, and a crimping tool. And an optional tool that you may need is a knife to cut away the mounting plate to make it fit in your vehicle. So the first thing that you're going to do to install your new stereo is find on your console where it can be removed. Some can maybe just possibly be pulled off, but in my case, there are two screws underneath here where I can unscrew, and then the face plate will pop off, which surrounds the stereo. So I'm going to take out the two screws here. After removing those, what you're going to want to do down here, grab at the bottom, and then you shimmy this out, which can be hard to do, kind of. Mine came out pretty easily. The way that it comes out is there are some points here, these plastic points that go into here, and it holds it in. So then what you're going to want to do is remove this cable here, which goes to the passenger airbag. It's just a light, so you don't have to worry about taking that out. And then set the faceplate aside. The next thing that you're going to want to do is actually remove this old stereo itself by removing the 4 or 2, depending on the car. The 4 screws surround the stereo, which holds it in. So there's the last screw. After that, you pull the stereo out of the dash. And on the back, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but there are some cables that come out of the back of the stereo, which you're going to want to remove. This one's for the antenna, this white one, I don't know what this white one's for, but you don't need that for this install, at least in my case. And the other one, it's the blue one. So after this is removed, just set it aside, and then now we're going to move on to the next step. One thing that I should actually say first before moving on to the next step is that you should probably, before doing any other steps after this, just make sure that the stereo fits inside your car. In my case, it fits fine. The only one thing that's a problem right now is this mounting bracket. I'm gonna have to cut some parts off, so then when I install it behind this, the lip that's actually behind this won't push against this. So I'm gonna have to do some modding to this, but they make that easy because on this model of stereos along here, they actually have grooves, so then you can cut along it. So that's really gonna help very nicely when I'm going to install this. Just wanted to bring that up, so yeah. So now let's get into the next step. So the next step is going to be crimping together the wires between your car stereo connector, which you bought for your car, and the stereo connector that came with your stereo. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be crimping together the wires between this and the wires between, in this case, on my stereo it came with 2 connectors because it connects in 2 different places for some reason, and then also this. So what you're going to need is you're going to need the bag that your stereo connector came in, and it will show all the different colors and what they match up with. And then also for the stereo, in my case, on the stereo, it shows on the top of the stereo what the connectors mean and what they correspond to. So try to find that on, it might be on your stereo or it might be in your manual for your stereo. So here I'm going to be showing you one of them that I'm going to be crimping together, and then I'm just going to do the rest off of camera, and then I'll get back to you guys once I'm done. So the one that I'm going to do, because I know one of the ones that go together is the black, which is the ground. So you're going to want to twist the wires together. You don't want any loose wires or frayed wires. And you're going to get yourself one of these crimping butt connectors. They're called a butt connector. Don't ask me why. So you're going to go like that, put it over the wire, and then on your crimping tool, find where it says your corresponding size, which on this is 2218, and that's right here on mine. So you go and you put it around the butt connector, and then you squeeze it as tightly as you can. And now that's crimped together. Now I'm gonna do the rest, and then I'll get back to you guys after I'm done. So I just now finished crimping all the wires together, and as you can see, I put some electrical tape around the butt connectors, just so then the wires stay together a little bit better, and it's pretty easy to take off. So now let's go install it. So to install the new stereo, obviously you're gonna have to mount it somehow. So the way that I'm gonna mount it is by taking off the old mounting brackets and putting it onto the new one. The new stereo did come with mounting brackets, but I already tried them and they don't fit, so I'm just going to hope that these old ones fit, and because I already removed these, I can take these screws off by hand, but you're probably going to need a Phillips head screwdriver to remove them, or a wrench to get it off, because they've got a hex design on it, so you can get it out that way. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm just going to take these out now, and I'll get back to you after I get the other one off. So now that I got all those screws out, I can set the old stereo aside for probably the last time and grab the new stereo and figure out the best way to put on these mounting brackets on the new stereo. So I'm gonna figure that out, and because mine has these weird little, you probably can't see them very well, but it's got these weird little things here. I'm gonna try and cut those off so then it's easier to mount this, because it doesn't rest flat on here with those there. So I'm gonna either hammer those down or get a saw or something and try and saw those off. So, okay, so I just now got back and I flattened these little prongs here on both the pieces, and so now those are almost, they're not completely flat, but they're nearly flat, so I think that would work fine. And if any of you were wondering how I did that, I just used one of these and I tightened it nearly all the way, so when it went down, it just kind of squished the prongs down, and that worked pretty easily. So if any of you need to do that with your OEM mounts, then yeah, that's how I did that. Now getting to placing this on and finding the best way to mount it onto the new stereo. So I'm gonna screw the mount onto the stereo and I'll get right back to you. Finally, to installing the stereo. So what you're gonna wanna do is get your, what you crimped together this wire and plug it into your original car. Once that's plugged in, feels secure. Get this up into the dash. Now get the stereo itself. You're going to want to plug this in. So this one goes on top, which is A. That plugs in. Then the other one plugs in, which is B. And then the other thing you want to plug in is the antenna. And then you want to fit all the wires back into the dash. And your stereo should now fit. Before you go and screw it all in, you might want to do a test run to see if it starts and works. So I'm going to start my car. Just give it a second to power on. Actually, I may need to turn it on. There we go. Power. Would you look at that? So now that it works, and you can see that it works and everything, turn off the car. Next, we're going to go and mount this back into its original spot. Now that I've got that in, you're going to want to grab your original mounting plate and plug the passenger airbag light back in. And then you're going to want to put this back on, which in my case, it doesn't fit right now because I have to mod this right here. So now I'm going to show you how you do that. It's pretty easy on this model. What you're going to want to do first is look on the plastic to see how much you're going to want to take off. In my case, I'm going to want to take off a little bit of the top, not too much on the sides, and yeah. So, okay, so you take this plastic outside, I don't know, ring, it's not a ring, but you know, off, and then let's go and cut a little bit of this off to make it fit. So now this is where that knife comes into play that I told you about earlier. So to do this, what you're gonna do is you just score along these lines on the back multiple times. They've got lines, like I said, already built in. And you just keep scoring the lines until it nearly breaks off, and it should break off pretty easily. So as you can see, it's starting to break off almost completely through. And there you go. Now you got a straight line on the front, and you could probably actually clean this up a little bit with like some sandpaper, and I'm going to do that later, but now I'm going to do all sides and get all sides a little bit smaller, and then I'll see if this fits now. Okay, so I ended up finishing this, and I ended up finding that if you're going to be putting this in a 2005 Honda CR-V, that you should cut off in total 5 on the long side and 5 on the short sides, because I don't know, that just fits best. And I ended up bringing this middle part to like see how it fits, and so yeah, this is what I found to be like the perfect fit. Also, another thing is if you're going to be doing this and like modding it, I'd suggest getting sandpaper, because that's how I sanded down these corners so then they would fit in these curved corners right here. So I'd suggest getting some sandpaper, and I know I didn't say it in the materials earlier, but it's probably best to do, and to just straighten these edges, because when you're cutting them, sometimes they're a little like not straight. But so yeah, or there's like a little piece like right there, which I need to sand off, as you can see, but it should be fine. But anyways, so now let's go and finish putting this in the car. So I didn't show you guys how I put this back in, but it was somewhat easy and kind of hard also. I didn't show you due to the fact that it was kind of hard to put back in, but now it's in and I got pretty much everything set up. So let me just show you a few features after I turn on the car. Takes a little bit to turn on. Turns on pretty quickly. And then once it's turned on, you've got a home screen here, which you can click this little button down here to get from any screen, to get this little home button, and you can click that to get to this screen, or you can click menu over here to get to this screen. Oops, I hit the volume. But once you're on this screen, the home screen, you've got radio. You can play DVDs or CDs through this. Right here, there's a DVD slot. Or there's Bluetooth, USB, SD card. Who would use SD card? There's the settings, an auxiliary in, and a backup camera if you had a backup camera, which won't work for me because I don't have any backup camera. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you go to like radio, you can set presets over here like I've already done. And then you just turn it up with this. Or you can click on the screen. I found that the screen's pretty responsive and it's really nice. And if you want to adjust the sound, like the bass and the treble and all that stuff, you have to click this middle thing again, and you click this over here. You can adjust all that. You can adjust zones. You can do all that stuff. There's a back button. That's pretty much it. This thing is I found it to be very responsive. The menus are nice looking for, considering it was only $99, this is like very responsive and really nice. And it was made in 2016, just this year, so yeah. And you can set the date and the time and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me see if I can turn this to me. Probably not. No, I can't. Okay, I'll just go like this. So anyways, guys, that's about it for this video, and I hope you liked it. It took me a long time to shoot this. I think I started at about 2 o'clock, and as you saw, it's 7:10 now. So it took me about 5 hours, but it's worth it. And it probably won't take you 5 hours, but considering I was filming too, it took me that long. So anyways, guys, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to me, and you can follow me on my Twitter and Instagram and stuff for updates. That will be at the end of the video, a link to that. So anyways, guys, that's about it for this video. See you in the next one. Peace.